Welcome back to my series on the final approach to Medicare. Yeah, I'm less than 6 months away from signing up, so I better figure it out. And I'm bringing you along. Today we're diving into a crucial topic for a lot of people, Medicare Part D, your prescription drug coverage. I'm not a fanboy of Big Pharma, but if you need them, nice to know your meds are covered. So let's break down why this is so important and how it works. So what is this Medicare Part D? Well, I'm pretty sure the D stands for drug. Medicare Part D is prescription drug coverage offered by private insurance companies, but they have to be approved by Medicare. It helps lower the cost of medications you take on a regular basis to manage chronic conditions like heart disease, high cholesterol, or asthma. So how do you get Part D coverage? Well, you have two main options there. Enroll in a standalone Medicare Part D plan, or choose a Medicare Advantage plan that includes drug coverage. So what does Part D cover? Well, a pretty wide range of prescription medications, including drugs for chronic conditions, short-term meds like antibiotics, some medications covered by Part B even. Costs involved? Well, yeah, it does cost you something. Your out-of-pocket costs for Part D may include a monthly premium and an annual deductible, or copays, and maybe including copays or co-insurance for prescriptions. The Medicare Part D coverage gap, or what is known as donut hole, is a phase in prescription drug coverage that occurs after the initial coverage period ends. In 2024, you enter the coverage gap when your total drug costs, including what you and your plan reach $5,030. The key points about the coverage gap: while in the coverage gap, you pay 25% of the cost for both brand name and generic drugs. And to get out of the coverage gap and enter catastrophic coverage, well, in 2024, your out-of-pocket costs must reach $8,000. Costs that count toward reaching catastrophic coverage include your deductible, what you paid during initial coverage, and most of the cost of brand name drugs purchased during the gap. The monthly premiums and costs for non-covered drugs do not count toward reaching catastrophic coverage, though. Importantly, the coverage gap is being eliminated in 2025. Starting in 2025, once your out-of-pocket costs reach $2,000, you'll enter catastrophic coverage and pay nothing for covered drugs for the rest of the year. Sounds better. Important changes for 2025, just like we said, there will be a $2,000 cap on out-of-pocket drug spending. The standard benefit will have 3 phases. Deductible, $590 in 2025. Initial coverage phase, where you pay 25% of drug costs. Then the catastrophic coverage kicks in with no additional out-of-pocket costs after reaching $2,000. So here's why you shouldn't skip Part D. Even if you don't take many meds now, prescription meds I'm talking about, enrolling in Part D when you're first eligible is crucial. If you don't, you might face late enrollment penalties later on when you might need those meds. To find the best Medicare Part D plan for your needs, well, why don't you make a list of all your current prescriptions, including the doses, the quantities, and how often you take them. Then use the Medicare Plan Finder tool at medicare.gov. Compare available Part D plans in your area. Enter your medications and preferred pharmacies into the Plan Finder tool. Then all you have to do is compare the plans based on the total costs, which are premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket expenses, the coverage of your specific medications, the pharmacy networks, preferred versus in-network, and the plan ratings. They rate those plans from 1 to 5 stars. Consider plans with low or no deductibles if you want balanced drug expenses throughout the year. Look for plans with low co-payments for generic drugs if you take a lot of generic drugs currently. And you can check for coverage restrictions like prior authorization or step therapy. Yeah, I didn't know what step therapy was, but it requires a patient to try a preferred drug before the more expensive one your doctor prescribed. So that could be a factor for you. Evaluate mail order options and coverage when traveling. And you might want to consider Medicare Advantage plans with drug coverage if you want combined health and prescription benefits all in one package. So, review your options annually during the open enrollment period because your needs can change throughout the year. And that is October 15th to December 7th. And remember to look beyond just the monthly premium and consider the overall cost and coverage for your specific medications. All right, here's what's coming up next. We'll explore how to choose the right Part D plan for your specific needs. All right, here's a little need of mine. How about a little prescription subscription to the channel? In the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode.